They had us back for episode
4. The three of us, Valentine's Day, and I was like, oh.
You're the guy on Valentine's Day everybody warns you about.
I saw you with my girl.
Tiger returning for the first time in a non-major event in 844 days. He's the girl you're chasing that always sends mixed signals.
I just want to be refreshing. Oh, really? It's like that. I'm still watching you.
You know what? They had us back for episode 4. Alongside the Caddie.
Michael Collins. 4.
I am the Matty. 4, please. This is Matty and the Caddie, the YouTube show that you didn't know you loved until you watched it. And we're like that Valentine's Day chocolate you just can't put down.
You know what's funny? I don't celebrate Valentine's Day. I call it a fake holiday.
Well, no, yeah, I don't know. It's not so. Here's what I saw today, by the way. Speaking of Valentine's Day, it's a fraudulent holiday for dudes that don't have their house in order 364 other days of the year.
I was just down with Lanto Griffin, who got me good and was like, hey, man, you want to come to dinner tonight with me and my wife, just the three of us? And I was not even thinking because I don't celebrate Valentine. I'm like, yeah, sure, man, I'll do it. He goes, it's nice. It'll be real romantic, the three of us, Valentine's Day. And I was like, oh, you want me to bring flower petals? I'll bring flower petals. So that's the joke between me and Lanto, is that since they were boyfriend and girlfriend, her and I one time walked the course with Lanto because he was playing with a pretty big name, but her and I hit it off. And he kept looking over, watching us laughing and talking about whatever. And then afterwards, he was like, hey, I saw you with my girl out there. And I was like, what? It's so what? And then when they got engaged, he was like, she made sure that you weren't asking first. So now it's like, well, you're married now. Yeah, I'm still watching you. So
did he make
funny.
the cut? Did he make the cut that week, or was he so
Yeah.
by the?
No, he made the cut too, which that makes it worse. So I was like, I'm gonna get to see her all weekend, man. You keep playing good, and me and wifey will be outside the roads just having a good. I'll be keeping her warm.
That's it. You're the guy on Valentine's Day everybody warns you about. We both love our wives very much, but I'm more in love with being able to see Tiger Woods play golf this week than I am with anything that Mrs. Ashley Barrie could provide on the home front.
See, I wish I felt the same way, and I'm not saying that because I feel I love my wife more. It's just because it's this week. And Tiger at the Masters, you want to talk about some love stuff like that's my hall pass right there.
Yeah,
I'm not saying, but
Tiger at the Masters is a given.
I know, but like just seeing Tiger already today was awesome because I hadn't seen him, at all since father-son was the last time I saw him. So it was so cool to see him and stuff like that. And then his reaction to my face looking like it looks was crazy too. But we, of course, started talking about Super Bowl stuff.
Tiger returning for the first time in a non-major event in 844 days. Last time we saw him play golf was in the Open Championship in July. So it's been a long, long time.
Yeah, that wasn't very fun either.
It wasn't. And he spoke to the media out there at LA at Riviera on Tuesday afternoon, just after we're taping this. And what I find interesting about Tiger now that we've never had with Tiger up until recently, and we're coming up now on the 2-year anniversary of that horrific car accident. But he's starting to be very honest and open about mortality as it relates to being Tiger Woods.
Even though he said he's still not in a mental place where he can just show up and kind of play as an ambassador. He did say, look, I wouldn't be here if I didn't think I could win. Which that's okay. You could say that. And then at the same time go, but my plantar fasciitis is still bad. It's not as bad as it was, but it's still bad. And it's not the leg, it's the ankle. That's the problem right now. So there's a lot of the Tiger mixed signals when it comes down to it. And that's okay. Like, that's still the fact that he was saying he pushed it a little further than he probably should have in the ramp up to this week. That's another thing that he does. He's one of those guys who was like, if the doctor says stay off it for 2 months, I bet you I can be off of it in a month and it'll be all right. But then you're like, hey man, Superman, that kryptonite, kind of let us dry clean the cape. Don't tell me what to do. Okay. And then you fly into the wall a couple times. You're like, fool, I just told you, let me dry clean the cape, man. Like, I'm Superman. Okay, Superman. All
Yeah,
right.
we know.
Yeah, got it.
But he's also keeping the Valentine's Day theme. He's the girl you're chasing that always sends mixed signals.
Right.
Like one day she's all in.
Yes.
The next day she doesn't answer your text.
I can't wait to see you tomorrow. I'm gonna call you. Like, today was an amazing day, and we're gonna hang out. And tomorrow's gonna be a beach day. Then the next morning, not a cloud in the sky, and you're just sitting at the phone like this, please. I just want keep refreshing. I gotta keep refreshing, man. Please, why? And the beach is right there.
Nothing.
Yeah, and then you see on social media pictures of her on the beach by herself or with a couple of girlfriends, and you was like, "Oh, really?" It's like that, man.
You hop right, and then he wins the 2019 Masters, and you're like, Tiger's back. And then he's got the horrific car accident. You're like, oh my God, Tiger almost died and lost a leg.
Almost lost him.
And then he shows up at the Masters, and like every time you think that this guy's out, every time you think that she's not going to call you again, she then sends you a pic, and you're like, oh,
yeah,
I can't quit you.
Where I'm sitting, I'm on a porch right now, overlooking number 1, number 3, the driving range, number 10. I can see here. I'll show you guys what my view is like at this golf
You look
tournament.
like you're in a wedding reception tent. Oh,
that's what it feels like. So there you go. There's number 1, and then number 3 comes back that way. Then you see the driving range. There's number 10 back that way and stuff with the range.
Back to Tiger for a moment, if we may, because he's making his triumphant return to the PGA Tour.
Yep.
Is it time do we need to break up with him?
No.
We don't.
We can't, man. He's still, when it comes down to it, listen, if Tiger wasn't going to be here this week, is the buzz of this place going to be the same? No. The buzz is different when I got here. When he said on last Friday that he was going to play, it changed everything. Like, he's still the needle, the stand, and the shipping crate it came in. When people are like, Tiger can't still move the needle. What? Don't be ridiculous.
And see, he's also coming, like Riviera can be a little sleepy anyway, because it's always coming after the Waste Management Phoenix Open.
Yes.
It's a Sigma Chi party. It's 5 days of debauchery.
Yes.
And then you come out to the Wine and Cheese LA Riviera Country Club. You know, everyone's slow dancing. It's different.
Right. You go from Animal House to Clooney. That's what it is.
Now, I want to ask you this question.
Okay.
Give me legitimate, realistic expectations for Tiger Woods this week.
But he's not going to make the cut. He's playing late early. So he's teeing off. So as we record this on a Tuesday, it's today's practice run. I just saw Joe LaCava, his caddy, and they brought the bag out. So he might hit balls for just a little bit. He's playing in the Pro-Am tomorrow at 6:35. It's not two things. It's not going to be light, and it's going to be about 38 degrees.
I do like that he's getting an indication of where his game is right now.
It's the ankle. Where's your ankle at? How's the recovery time? And here's the downside a little, and not to be a Debbie Downer, but he was asked in the presser, have you walked 72 holes? And he goes, no.
We're going to get out of here, Matty the Caddie. I'm going to wreck your world. If I hear you say it wasn't holding, it was holding, but still an all-time great Super Bowl. The Eagles come up short. You were there. You're an Eagles fan.
My 14-year-old was with me. That was the first loss he ever saw.
It's going to
Like,
hurt for a while.
for his team. Yeah, it's gonna. Okay, so if we go backwards, and let's start with the holding penalty. How about the set of titleists on our boy to just come out in the press conference and say, "Yeah, I held him."
Yeah.
Right.
Amazing.
That's saying something for somebody's character to be able to say
Right.
that. That being said, you know what wasn't shown? Where was Patrick Mahomes with the ball when the holding occurred, right? The ball had left his hands. So if the ball's out of your hands and you grab onto somebody's jersey like that, then what's the call? Because it ain't holding. It's pass interference, correct?
It's still first down. It doesn't matter.
Now, if the ball's catchable, if he doesn't grab that jersey that quick like that, is that ball still catchable? I say no. And if it's pass interference, then that's a challengeable call. And guess what? They didn't make a call that was challengeable that could have been shown that that ball wasn't catchable. No pass interference, incompletion. Who knows what happened? Now
Man,
that being
you,
again,
I mean, you sound
listen.
like a football fan that
no.
walked in on their quarterback with another team.
Nah,
Like-
man. This is the honest truth too. Two things. One, the Jalen Hurts fumble, like that kind of, if that fumble doesn't happen and Chiefs run it back for a touchdown on that play, if that fumble doesn't happen, who knows? But our defense didn't stop Kansas City. Like our defense.
What you guys are
didn't do what it
witnessing
was
here,
supposed to do.
the stages of Super Bowl grief.
And the thing that hurt the most was as a dad watching my 14-year-old get his heart broke like that for the first time. Listen, as an adult, we all go through it.
Oh,
Right? We all got to do that. We all got to, but I was heartbroken for him and the tears that were shed, like everything leading up to the game, even throughout the game, like the up and down of the emotion when we were down and then scored the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to tie the game. It was like 5 minutes. We just need one. Can we get one stop? When we get back to the hotel, we'll just grab the car and we'll get out of here. But we got back to the hotel and the coach's family who we were there with was like, hey, we're just going to shower up. But when coach gets back, we're going to the after party anyway. And I was like, okay, Bray, what do you want to do? And he looks at me and he was like, I want to go to the after party. And I was like, you know what? He's getting through it all right. And we go to the after party. Some players show up, see the GM who thanks me for like a little side thing, which still was crazy. Then Sirianni shows up and gives Bray a hug, says and apologizes. He apologizes to Bray for not getting the job done, which then, Bray's over the moon. We take a picture and so on and so. And it was like, yeah, I think he felt a lot better after it was all said and done. When we left that after party, it was crazy. We ended up getting this is how little sleep we got. When we get to the airport for his flight, Bray is standing at the counter half falling asleep. And the counter lady was like, how hard did you guys party last night?
oh man, he's 14.
And Bray was like, we went pretty good at the after party.
There you
and then
go.
puts his head back down. So it was
See
awesome.
what we've done here on Matty the Caddie, episode 4. We've gone full circle. On Valentine's Day, what have we learned through all of this? Sports love hurts, and we just can't let her go. For the Caddie,
Michael Collins.
I'm the Matty. Hug the ones you love. This is Matty and the Caddie.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.